Welcome to the Rose Flame Podcast, where together we uncover divine mysteries and discover our divinity and humanity wrapped together as one. Hello, welcome in. Welcome in. Take a load off. Have a seat. Relax. Okay? Relax. I feel like where we are right now, we need to breathe. We need peace and peace of mind. And we need to just let everything flow. Just as it will, just as it should, in spite of us, because of us. Yeah. We are in the midst of a very high level energetic shift. And one thing about this podcast is I ebb and flow, as we all should. I sometimes get flooded with ebbing and flowing. What does that mean? That means I'm forced to flow. Or to resist what is, right? How many times have I attempted to resist what is in one form or another? And boy, do we suffer in that place, don't we? You ever notice how you really don't see certain things coming or even have the ability to predict or to control anything outside of yourself? And yet, when you are walking in the power of heaven, when you are walking in a place of transfiguring reality, everything is just the effect of the ripples from this. I think oftentimes, we are taught such a profound way of seeing things and almost a false way of seeing things. This is good. This is bad. If these things happen in your life, that's good. If these things happen in your life, that's bad. But what I know is often chaos has to come and destroy the falsehoods. So whatever is not based on love, not founded on love, not built on love, is going to crumble. And right now, things are crumbling. People are crumbling. Places are crumbling. Stuff is crumbling. And when you're a part of the awakening and you're vibrating at such a rate that you are the ripple effect, that you are changing things, it doesn't mean that nothing around you could go bad or go wrong. It means that nothing really is wrong, even if it looks like it is. That's where we are right now in the world, in humanity. We are witnessing a collapse of egoic falsehoods. We are witnessing a collapse of egoic falsehoods. And make no mistake, there is no one that will be left unscathed. Not you, not me, not anyone else. Somehow we will feel this. And it is good. It is good. It is good. Suddenly I'm reminded of what God said in the creation story. It is good. So, a lot of the things we are experiencing or watching loved ones experience, witnessing in the world, is simply a sign of greatness coming forth, a sign of awakening coming forth, a sign of love ruling and winning and reigning. Because love never fails. Love never fails. But I think that oftentimes we don't really know what love is, and we don't really understand what love looks like. You know, scripture says that no greater love than this, than for someone to lay their life down for their friends. And religion has twisted that to mean that you must be a nobody and you must self-sacrifice your whole, all your desires and everything that you want, and a toxic way of serving others. But it's so much deeper than this, because really it starts with loving yourself. It starts with adoring yourself. It starts with looking yourself in the mirror and saying, "Hey, girl, you're beautiful. Hey, gentlemen, you're handsome. I love you. You're special. I admire your character. Look at how wonderful you are." And I think that that's part of what we've lost. Part of what we've lost is the ability to adore ourselves. And when you pass that down generation after generation, you're not going to have anything but a mess, and a chaotic one at that. A mess that's closed off from real love, from authentic relationship and oneness. Because we don't really like ourselves. In fact, a lot of humanity despise themselves. And I understand. We're going to dig deep here tonight. I can see that we're just going to ebb and flow. And yeah, we're going to let the mother speak. We're going to let the mother speak. And all of heaven is with us in this place. where the mother just gets to flow and to say what's on her heart. We've been made almost to hate ourselves in every way possible. We've been taught and conditioned to believe that we cannot possibly measure up. And we have this unrealistic measuring stick. And when you sit in that place towards yourself, you will see others the same way. The measuring stick in which you use to measure yourself is the same measuring stick that you will use to measure everyone else. And so we've been told to, die to ourselves, to kill the flesh and lay your life down. And, whether you have been deemed religious or not, whether you have been in church or not, here's the craziest part. No matter what your culture is, no matter where you come from, a lot of these ingrained beliefs are everywhere. It's like a collective consciousness, especially in the Western world. So we sacrifice ourselves. We diminish our needs. We put everyone before us. And then we have collapse. We have burnout. We have overgiving. And we really believe oftentimes that it's supposed to be that way. Well, if I don't give, who will? If I'm not there, who will be there? If I don't take care of this, who will take care of this? Especially women. Especially women. We have been passed down this idea that we are the caregivers, that we are the nurturers, that we are the ones that are in the position of making sure that everything goes right in the home. And that's a burden that, when it is not carried in the proper way, becomes chaos. What does it look like to carry the home in the proper way? Doing it from a place of joy. Doing it because you're led by the Spirit to do it. Being in a position to be nurtured by the other people in your home. Realizing that it is not all on you. Understanding that there is a balance in all things. And right now, systematically, there is an ego collapse and a rebirth. And it doesn't look pretty. It is affecting families, friendships, finances, loved ones, all of it. But the direct result of this ego collapse is a greater capacity to love one another, to give of oneself, from a place of fullness, from a place of wholeness, not out of compulsion, not out of obligation. Coming to understand that we are not obligated to do anything. In our relationships, and I'm talking about when you are in relationship with grown people, I don't care who they are. You are not obligated to them in any way, shape, or form. Now, if you brought little ones into the world that are little, you are absolutely obligated to take care of them. But when you speak of grown people, and this is something we need to understand. Oh, well, that is my father. Oh, well, that is, my adult child. That is, my grandmother. You're not obligated to do anything, to be anyone to them, to be in any specific type of relationship with them. Now, it's wonderful. It's absolutely wonderful when you're in relationship with people that you love, with family that you love, and things can ebb and flow in a way that is healthy. And what does that mean? That means nobody's getting taken advantage of, right? Like, this relationship is not, whatever relationship it is, isn't just benefiting one person, but this is a relationship that goes beyond transaction. It goes beyond, oh, what can you do for me? And, oh, you didn't do this for me, so I'm not going to do that for you. But it becomes an ebb of flow of heaven and love. And that, my friends, takes true humility for people to operate that way. And what we're seeing partially is a collapse in relationships and systems and families, because it is all about me, me, me. And here's the paradox, right? This is the crazy thing. It starts with loving yourself. And when you truly do, when you begin to tap into loving yourself, cherishing yourself, honoring yourself, you give that same vibe to those around you. You don't need anything from them. You're not in a relationship, whatever type of relationship it may be, to receive. Not that you won't, because you're wise enough to know when a discerning voice would say, you're being taken advantage of. You need to take a step back. You need to operate this way. You need to set a boundary here. You need to do this. So it's a paradox. And I think that it's such a paradox that our initial response is to just leave the relationship. That's too much. This isn't fair. This isn't right. And so what we have here now is a culture of people who just give up on relationships. And hear me out. There are times when you should get a divorce. Yep, 100%. No doubt about it. How do I know? Because I've witnessed it happen. There's this lie perpetuated in the church that says that you should stay no matter what, and you put up with it, and you just keep praying, and you just keep praying, and you just keep praying, and you just keep giving grace, and the whole time, the whole energy of life force is being sucked out of you. No, no, no. Now, I believe we're going to see righteous divorces. Yes, I do. I've seen it myself. I've watched it happen in other people's lives. And I've seen the fruit of the Spirit marking all of it, right? There are times when you should absolutely get a divorce. And there was a time when I would never say that. I remember this one time, a dear friend came to me, and they were in turmoil over the way they were treated by their significant other. This was some years ago. And they were telling me all the things. I mean, they spilled the beans. And I was pretty surprised. They had been married a long, long time. And I love this person dearly. I love this person dearly. And I couldn't say, oh, you should get a divorce. I didn't feel like I was supposed to say all that, right? And I don't know that I would ever counsel someone now in those words. But what I did say was, you don't deserve to be treated like that. I don't believe God would keep you in a marriage like that. I'm not sure. And the very next day, this person came back to me and said they were so sorry for sharing and being weak, and that they need to just basically suck it up because that's what God would want them to do. And my heart broke for them because I knew in reality that probably wasn't so. And yeah, it might be scary. You might not know what's on the other side, but it'd probably be more fruitful internally for you and everyone around you. I think sometimes we feel like we're obligated to be in certain relationships, and we stand right in front of somebody receiving their due judgment or karma or whatever you would have it. Because look, things gotta burn. Let's be real. All our falsehoods, the masks, the things that were not built on love, they must burn. And oftentimes we've been taught to stay in all kinds of relationships, and we stand directly in the path of love burning something up that needs to burn in someone's life. Because we say, oh, we have to save them. Oh, we can't let that happen to them. How many parents do I know that literally financially support their children because they're so afraid of what will happen if they don't? When truth be told, oftentimes grown children, right? Grown-ups have to learn the hard way sometimes. This is where we are, my friends. And that doesn't mean we turn our back on people. And there is a fine line and balance. And this is where only the Spirit can help you. Only the Spirit can help you. Because there's always opportunity to love every person in your life. The question is, what does love really look like? Does it look like I'm agreeable? And I'm just going to allow you to destroy yourself? Does it look like I keep my mouth shut and I never say what I think or I feel? I don't think that's love. I think that is that we've been put in a position to be manipulated, to be afraid of who we really are. To be afraid to show who we really are, to be afraid to say how we really feel, to be afraid to turn our back when we're abused. And the worst part about it is the church culture has perpetuated this issue to where we don't even have real relationship. And when we do, it's rare. But what happens when there are two people in any type of relationship that desire to be the best version of who they can be, to look within, to continue to line up with I am, to continue to line up with their sovereignty, to continue to line up with transparency, humility, agape. Those relationships, they don't come without miscommunication. They don't come without struggle. But the beauty that is cultivated is truly remarkable. We are headed into a new place of relationship. This is what I'm seeing right now. We are headed into a new place of relationship and the way that we do relationship. We are headed into a place of true relationship. And the world is hungry. The earth is groaning. People are groaning and hurting and broken and ashamed and afraid. And ultimately, all they really desire is to be seen, to be known, to be held, to be loved. The thing about it is, we hold the person we love, the people we love, like a butterfly. And there they are, and we hold them, right? We hold them. But we let them fly. We let them be. We let them breathe. We let them expand, cultivate themselves within. Because that's really what love is. And people are a gift, but we have attempted to possess what is truly unpossessable. This is a message that's going out in the frequency of heaven right now. And we haven't felt safe to just be. We haven't felt safe on our own, right? So we're grasping at straws and we're attempting to fill the void that only sovereignty fills. Understanding your God self. Knowing what that means, who you really are. And reminding yourself, realigning yourself and your thoughts with the fact that there's nothing outside of you that's going to satisfy you. Nothing. Not a thing. Not a person, not a place. Certain amount of money, not a certain vehicle or house or job. That true joy And happiness, contentment comes from within. And it's easy to say that. It is. It's easy to say that. But to actually experience that, that's a whole nother thing. To actually experience that sovereignty, that knowing, that being aware that you are what you've been looking for. And from that place, real relationship cultivates and grows in every area. I'm not just speaking romantically. All of our relationships, they matter. They are important. And we are headed into a new place in relationship, a place where relationships have depth. Relationships mean something again. Relationships aren't simply transactional and throwaway. And this is not to say to deal with abuse. It is to say we've created a culture that just throws people away and gives up before it's time. On the other hand, we've created a culture that stays in the wrong relationship with people far too long. Both of these issues coming from the same root, which is this need or desire to be something, this need or desire to be wanted, to be loved, to be important. And the irony is that we have to be able to look in the mirror and understand how important we already are, how special we already are, how seen we already are. Think about this. All the hairs on your head are numbered. That's how much attention God pays towards you. I don't think we have pondered love for very long, and not long enough at all. We have passed it by as a fleeting thing, when in reality, it's everything. It's the only thing that will actually survive, is love. Long after you're gone, what you've done for love will carry on. What you've done from love will carry on. What you've done in the name of love, not even for love, right? What you've done in the name of love will carry on. People often won't remember what career you had, what possessions you accumulated, where you went to school, but they will remember the way they felt around you. They will remember the love that you shared with them. In fact, they'll probably never forget. And it has a ripple effect, and it carries on. And honestly, nothing else really matters. But to get to the nitty-gritty of it all, you gotta face yourself. You gotta look yourself in the mirror, and even all those flaws that you feel like you have. And you have to tell those places how much you love them. You know, love is the cure for every disease, every ailment, every suffering. But it is not outside of you. And that's one of the big problems in the world. We're looking for everything outside of ourselves to fill us up somehow, to numb us somehow, to bring us somehow into a better conscious state. And it's causing us suffering. Because everything is within us. And when you begin to really realize that and embody it, everything shifts. Not just in your life, but around you as well. And this is what we are witnessing in the world right now. The collapse of an old paradigm that was cold-hearted and lacking compassion and only set in design of accumulation of things and wealth and the idea of wealth. What do we even believe wealth is? And the real shift is directly connected to patriarchy losing its power and divine feminine women rising up in their true, authentic selves. In true, authentic love for themselves. And look, there are things that women have that men just don't, just like there are things that men have that women just don't. And when we begin to tap into these things together as a human race, freedom in our relationships is what will come forth. Freedom to be seen, freedom to be vulnerable, freedom to be known in the depth of our soul, freedom to be, freedom to be. Because I think that we as humans have gotten so far off course, and it's designed that way in the Matrix, right? It is. It's not a coincidence or an accident. It's actually intentional, and we fell for it. We've been bamboozled. The intentional divide is the design of the Matrix. Divide and conquer, actually. And so what you see mostly right now, what's crumbling before our eyes, is this whole idea of I'm wrong, you're right. You're wrong, I'm right. This is what I think. This is what I believe. This is the way it should be. Because Masks have no choice but to crack. There's no way around it. Masks have no choice but to crack. And when they do, it can be chaos. It can be stressful. It can be situations suddenly arising. It can be all these things. But yet underneath it all, and the result of it is beautiful. It's a wonderful thing. It's really a blessing in disguise. And this is what we're seeing play out all over. This whole egoic collapse. Because it's just a mask. It's not even what's real. And people don't know it. That's the crazy part. You know, when you wear a mask, you don't realize you're wearing a mask. Most people, 9 out of 10, have no idea that they're wearing a mask, that they're not showing up as their true selves. They really believe they are. And in the Matrix, it is their true self. This is what the Matrix created them to be. And this is what they think, you know, whatever that may look like. So, in order to get through to the next place, it's got to burn. Stuff has to change. Things are going to fall. Masks coming off, being demolished and burnt up. And anyone who really is burning like a flame, the keeper of the flame, understands the concept of death and rebirth very well, and understands that there will be more. But for those who don't know, for those who don't keep the flame, it's difficult. It's not easy. Most people resist the flame. They don't want to change. They would rather it be someone else's problem, someone else's fault, someone else's issue, or someone else to find a solution. But we are in a time where we are not given a choice. And it's good. It is. It's good. You know, there are those of us who have led the way, who have allowed the burn, continue to allow the burn, continue to feel whatever needs to be felt, continue to deal with the array of emotions. And if that's you, if you feel as though you have cultivated that with the Spirit, that you have sat in stillness, that you have become one with all that is, I want to tell you that you're leading this. And there are a lot of people that are looking to you, whether you know it or not. You see, the irony of the times that we're in right now is that the light shines brighter in the dark when things are hard. And oftentimes when you burn like a flame, You carry something that is unique and rare and needed, and not what is the status quo. While everyone else is panicking about gas prices, you're understanding you're abundant. You're understanding you'll never go without anything. You know, when everyone else is sad or depressed, you're finding joy even in the worst situations. And people see that. They don't understand. It doesn't make sense because it's not natural. It's heavenly. I mean, it should be natural. We should say it is natural. But in humanity, in the matrix, it is not natural to operate this way. So to those of you that are aflame, and you know that you know that you know that you are aflame, everything you have went through, all of the things you've experienced, all of the pain and even your own bad decisions are coming back around to serve you in this time. I'm seeing right now the justice scales. You know how they're balanced out? This is what I'm seeing right now. This is part of what we're witnessing right now. Justice coming to those of you who stopped asking for it. Because there's a place where you just become content. You don't need justice. You don't need retribution or a payback of any sort. You know you gave and you gave and you gave. And it's what you did. You gave of your sustenance. You gave of yourself. You gave of your finances. And I just see the month of May turning a page. To the altar of justice. And everything being rearranged for your good. And understand that there are many, many, many people who will face hardship and struggle. And as a leader, you have a responsibility to be a light and a lamp onto their path, should they be willing. That's the key. We can't waste our precious time and moments for those who are not willing. But you have a responsibility for those who are to be a lamp. That's all. Be a lamp. What does that mean? Be yourself. Be yourself. You know, I remember in my religious days, There was always this feeling that I had to earn something. I needed to pray for people, and it needed to be eloquent, and it needed to have power behind it, and the right words. I've seen God orchestrate the most beautiful moments simply by me resting. And honestly, almost not trying at all. The irony. But what gets partnered with that, what's necessary for that to really bloom and blossom, is being led by the Spirit. Really leaning in. Really being led. We say we're led until it's something hard. We say we're led until God asks us to give up all of our possessions. We say we're led until God asks us to remove somebody from our lives that we love dearly. So, are we really led? Or is it only in the easy things? We say we're led until we're led to leave a church. We say we're led until we're led to give money to somebody we know doesn't like us. We say we're led until it doesn't fit into the box that we think God will lead us in. God is big, vast, unending, and untraceable. But when you're led, the most simple conversation breaks chains. The simplest moment, you're right where you're supposed to be. No matter what you see, what you face, what you go through, you can have a faith because you're led and you know that all things are working for the good. And what I'm seeing is actually something good, in spite of what it may on the outside look like. Because we're real good at celebrating the wonderful things and even, the wonderful feelings. I want to feel joy. I want to feel happiness. I get that. I do. I want to as well. Sometimes I don't. I don't feel that. I feel torn, or I feel afraid, or I feel angry, or I just don't really know what I feel. I'm just sitting here in the midst of the burn. And this is what I call it. It's the place of the pit. And we don't want to be there. We don't want to talk about that. We can't talk about it because we haven't been there. But it needs to be talked about. Because life is not all roses, however, everything is good. And that is something I can say and testify to because I've seen it and witnessed it time and time again. And I'm talking about some horrible situations, horrible things in my own personal life, in other people's lives. but it's always good. And I can always look back and I can always see that God was being God. The hand of God was all over that thing. And it didn't matter if the person or the people did believe or none of it. None of it. It didn't even matter if I had a lack of faith in that moment. I can look back and say, wow, God is faithful. God is good. And partnering with that spirit is such a key to seeing the fruit in everything. Seeing the goodness in the midst of the pain, in the midst of the fire, to become a flame. It doesn't mean it always feels good, though. I honestly believe it's not supposed to. I think we're supposed to be uncomfortable. I think there's supposed to be moments of uncertainty. I think there's supposed to be moments of fear, anger, resentment, insecurity, whatever it is. What if there's no such thing as a bad feeling? Because it's telling us something. The Spirit's leading us to a place. And it just goes deeper and deeper and deeper. So it's okay to let it burn. In fact, I don't think that we can have anything real in our lives until we do. And when we let it burn, everything, and I do mean everything, everything in our lives comes alive. Everything is more tangible. Everything is more beautiful. And you can embrace all things because you understand. You are the beginning. You are the end. You are the Alpha. You are the Omega. You are all things, and yet no thing. Because what you are is so much bigger than your life. It's a collective picture of beautiful designs. And we all desire to be one with one another. Right now, humanity's pretty broken and afraid and ashamed. And that's why if you find yourself as the flame, I encourage you to burn. Don't shrink. Don't hold back. Don't allow shame to keep you from anything that you were meant to have. Burn. Shine bright like a diamond. And the others will see the light While I understand some will absolutely turn away, some will be forever changed. Take a deep breath. Let's let that in. Do you feel it? We are in real time in an expansion of the heart. There's a gate there and a door, and it's where everything really is. It's where everything shifts. I encourage you to feel it, whatever it may be, and to lean into your beloved identity. Because a lot of the things that we've built are simply ego. They're not really real. They're not eternal. They're not eternal. And I don't know about you, but the deeper I go, the more I long for what's eternal. And the more I realize that the greatest gifts that we have are the people in our lives and the way we do relationship and what that brings to everyone involved. Maybe that means there's some relationships you need to leave. And maybe that means also there are some relationships where you need to stay. And only the Spirit can guide you. But if you ask her, she will. Wisdom is with you, and understanding, and counsel, and might. You are courageous. You can do anything. You are the image of God in the earth, and you have the same power that created everything living inside of you. So the question then becomes, what are you going to create? What do you want your life to be? What do you want it to look like? And I'll leave you with that. I will leave you with that. It's been a blessing to be with you. And you take care. I love you. Thank you for joining us today in discovering divine mysteries. If you'd like to connect or partner with us, please email theroseflamesophia@gmail.com. See you next time.